years ago, but some non-formal things that I'm doing teaching also.
What instruments do you teach?
Primarily guitar, and also violin, some other things here and there.
Why did you choose a career in music education?
Well, it seemed to fit my skills, so I don't know, it's just passed on, something that's a big part of my life. So just allowing other people to have that opportunity.
Do you enjoy this career, teaching music?
Most of the time. Sometimes you get a student that just doesn't catch on, but, you work and seeing the progress helps.
Do you plan on working in music education for the rest of your life?
In some degree. I don't know if it'll be my full-time 9-to-5 sort of job, but I probably intend on, in one manner or another, continuing on teaching.
Describe your job.
As a music educator, you go and you teach the lessons. They come in a week-by-week lesson, usually a half-hour lesson per week. Sometimes a difference, shorter lessons for younger kids and so forth, depending on skill and age and all that. Come and see them once a week, usually in the middle of the week, and we'll kind of come and have them all brought together.
What is your favorite age group to teach?
I really like working with high schoolers. I've had some students as young as 8, which for some of the instruments doesn't work so well, even though I started violin at 3. Since I mostly teach guitar, that doesn't come so well. It's just the size and the finger pressure issue. But with high schoolers, because I think music's very important in their life. Not necessarily the classical music, which I love, but they want to get involved in the music that is an important part of their life, and that's one way to make that happen. So they're very interactive.
So you like teaching guitar better than teaching violin?
Whenever I get asked that question about playing either instrument, I always have to say I never decided. Because I've been playing violin all my life, picked up guitar later, although I do use the guitar functionally more. So I don't think I would ever make that decision.
How has your college experience prepared you for a career in music education?
Well, I started off as a full-fledged music major, but continued on with philosophy, particularly with some linguistics, which is important in philosophy, and understanding how language is acquired is very similar to how we teach music. I'll often go into those metaphors about how they work the same way. Dr. Shinichi Suzuki is a kind of music philosopher and methodizer out of Japan, based his musical method on modeling it after the acquisition of language. So further understanding the acquisition of language in my field helps actually teach music.
And what is the role of communication in this job?
Well, communication being language. Sometimes you have to kind of feel out, how am I going to describe this concept, or maybe this finger pattern, or whatever it might be, musically to a student. And sometimes you could try to explain it this way, or this way, or this way, and nothing seems to really break through and communicate the idea. Sometimes it's trial and error, but really learning every student's sort of tendencies allows you to better communicate and say, well, I might be teaching the same concept to 2 different students because I understand how the students think. I might explain it to them 2 different ways completely.
That makes sense. And would you want this job if money were no object?
If money were no object, I think I would continue on doing this.
What are the challenges of this job?
As we just described, sometimes finding that way to describe the concept, although I do love the breakthrough when they finally get it, and it's like, oh, I didn't have it so long ago, but sometimes it's music, practice, egging them on to continue that, encouraging them in that. And when you actually do get to this slow times of development, whether it's difficult concepts or they're just not getting it at all, it can be really frustrating for the student and the teacher.
All right. And how would you describe your interactions with your students? Do you enjoy talking to them about bigger patterns and stuff like that?
I enjoy it. I don't know how much they do. Getting back to like the mathematical things, which wouldn't be appropriate for my 8-year-old guitar student, but the college age kid, I can show them kind of, here's how theoretically it works, and here's us putting that into practice, so you kind of understand it in both realms. Again, beyond that, I haven't been able to maintain most of the relationships with the students outside of that. Although in the music lesson time, you kind of have to reserve that time for music lesson.
What do you think makes you a good teacher?
Well, I guess that assumes I'm a good teacher, and I would hope that I am. The funny thing is, I never took guitar lessons, so now I'm teaching them. I sort of had to feel my way out. I took violin lessons.